Man, who ordered the high humidity? Good gracious. Hello? Welcome to Green Gander 75. I'm Buddy. So I'm going to continue working on the RV trailer here, and the other day I did some welding up on the front of the frame. So first off, we're going to do a little bit of cleanup on those welds, and then I think we're going to cut some more metal and maybe do some welding today. So let's go ahead and get it started. Alright, that's a little bit of cleanup work. I guess the next step is to cut some more metal here. So I got the front part. Still got to put the pieces in the middle. Back part I still got to get that completely welded up, and then just tie the two together and paint, clean paint, prime. You know, making progress. So the other day, I was in here cutting the pieces of metal for the front part of the trailer, and throwing a lot of sparks in here. So we're going to put a welding blanket up behind this to keep the sparks from being thrown, you know, back into a corner of this old wood shop. As far as the paper on the table, yes, I know the paper is flammable, and no, I'm not worried about it. If it catches on fire, y'all are gonna have a great video. But don't worry, I got fire extinguishers, and right now it's protecting this old wood shop table, and not too worried about it. So we will go ahead and put that welding blanket up, keep the sparks from flying where we don't want it to go in this shop, and let's cut some metal. Well, how's this for an update? Got the welding blanket up. Fits perfectly on the old metal door there. It's got some holes already in place, a couple S hooks, hangs perfectly. Unfortunately, you're not going to have the excitement of seeing me catch this table on fire, because the welding blanket's long enough to fit underneath the backside of the saw. So cool. All right, let's get started. So these pieces go across the frame. This is going to be, well, let me start off. The trailer is kind of separated into sections. So the front half is a box. The back half is a box. The center is welded together with bars that go across to complete the entire frame. This isn't my design. This is actually the way the camper was built from the factory. Now they use very thin aluminum. I'm not going back with aluminum. I hate a bouncy floor. You can drive a truck on this floor when I'm done. So it's going to be very stout, and that's exactly what I want. A little bit more weight, but I'm adding a little weight there, but I'm not going back with the bathroom, so I think we're going to kind of even out pretty good. First step, we're going to go ahead and start cutting our 45s on these cross pieces. They're going to be 8 foot long. We're going to start off with 45 on the end and then get that done, and then we're going to measure off of that to cut the other 45 at 8 foot. Not too worried about it getting it perfect. Most construction, if you've been in this business long enough, you know that nothing is perfect. So we'll just get it close, and that should be fine. So, okay, let's cut the first piece. So I just went and double checked my measurements, and it reminded me of something pretty important. And it's no big deal, but I didn't factor in the weld. I didn't factor in the weld when I was measuring this out. So my walls, the width is going to be a little bit wider than 8 feet, but not much. So, but it's okay. We're still well within the rules as far as driving on the road. And we just picked up another basically 1/4 inch of that. So no big deal. And but we're gonna go ahead and cut these to exactly 8 foot, so it will match what I did previously. Because if that would be too much. So it does matter to some extent how much you cut off, and try to get everything somewhat the same. If it's off a little bit, you know, from one end to the other, no big deal. But if it's off a lot, that could be cool. So we're going to cut this to 8 foot. We're going to cut another one to 8 foot, and then we'll go ahead and do the lengthwise pieces. Let's go ahead and measure this out. Double check to make sure it's what you want. Looks good. We'll go ahead and cut the other one out, and then we'll come back when we do the next side. So cross members are cut out, 2 of those. Now we're going to do the lengthwise. So they're going to be 47¼ inches, and I can get that out of one piece. We'll see. So let's go ahead and knock the 45 off of this first edge, and then we'll do the second. And math isn't in my head right now, but we'll see if we get a second out of that. If not, that's all right. It's actually good. That will give us some more pieces that we can cut off if we have to do some filling. So okay, let's go ahead and knock that off and see how it looks. go out there and make sure it fits on the trailer, and we'll continue. Alright, so I'm really happy with that. Perfect fit. Let's see if we can get the second piece out of this. Of course. Next step is, I think we are done with our angle cuts. I think we're actually done with our angle cuts for the entire project. So I decided to put some, maybe some gussets or something in. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get the saw straightened up, squared back up, and move on to the next pieces. Bringing this in, we're just going to true up to the square here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just pretty close. That way I can use both hands. Check here. Alright, so square is lined up with a cutoff wheel. Backstop is tightened down. Yes, there's measurements. No, I don't use them. And that is it. So let's go ahead and start doing some square cutoff pieces. Alright, so now we're going to be doing the center cross pieces in each box. That's for to add rigidity to the floor, and of course the floor to sit on, completely sit on. So we're going to go ahead and cut those. 92¼ inches is my average length. A few of them are just a little bit less than that. We'll knock that off with a grinder, no big deal. Let's go ahead and get cutting. We've got, looking at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to cut. So let's go ahead and get started. So when I'm cutting here, I normally have pretty good ventilation through here. I got fans behind me blowing through really good. Yes, I'm not wearing my hat. You'll see why in a moment. Good ventilation. I'm seeing with this welding blanket in place that my ventilation is not as good as I'd like it to be. I'm not a big fan of breathing a lot of metal dust. I don't think it's good for you. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on my respirator. You know, safety is your own responsibility. You do what you think is safe for you. It's up to you what you do. And for me, I think I'm not as safe as I'd like to be, so I'm going to throw a respirator on along with my safety glasses and ear protection. Safety glasses, you always need to wear your safety glasses. And yeah, I'm going to go throw this on, and we'll go ahead and knock out these 6 pieces. Alright, hot out here. Okay, well that's all of them cut up. That is all of them cut off. 5, not 6. Glad I miscounted there. The next step is going to be going to take those and clean them up, clean the edges up, kind of chamfer the edges so we got room to get a good weld on it. And yeah, well, let's go ahead and get started on that. Alright, over here, do a little bit of grinding, clean up these edges that just cut. They're pretty gnarly. Don't want anybody to get hurt, and need to kind of chamfer the edges a little bit so get a good deep weld. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I got quite a few here to do, so let's go ahead and knock them out. Alright, I think we're going to stop right there for the day. Made some progress on it. Got all the center cross pieces put in, cut and laid in. They're not welded yet. ready to weld up the box on the back half, and I got that cross piece cut up for it. And once that's done, get all that welded in. Got to run another bar down the center and weld that in. A few places need support. The steps, gonna put some support, a beam for that to sit on, and get that done. And I think I'm gonna wrap this up. The weather has been pretty bad. It's fixing to rain on me. So we're just gonna go ahead and call that a day. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate all your support, and we're gonna pick up on the next one here, and y'all have a good evening.